Now, fashion, we love it, we treasure it. It's actually one of those subsectors that have helped people make tons of money. Our entrepreneur this week is a fashion star, and he has made a fortune just sitting in that particular space. Here's his story.
Good evening to everyone. My name is Mavo Kampala, proprietor Mavo Kampala Clothing, stylist to the stars. Well, my real names are Kavunga Marvin Johnny, and I started styling in 2015 on the 16th September. Well, I picked my passion of styling from discovering that I had the arts, but then I needed to polish it, whereby I had to do a lot of research from Instagram and different websites. Different websites, and I discovered there are some schools that do teaching about styling and fashion abroad. I managed submitting my qualifications at schoolofstyle.com, where I qualified and I started taking classes of styling, fashion, designing, and more so I could go and do practical work downtown, whereby I could meet different tailors, associate with them. They teach me a few things that I learned from online, then I make them practical. Then I also made a lot of research on YouTube, watching different interviews, watching different documentaries of fashion designers, fashion stylists. Then I continued hustling. As you know, it was more of the street business and then the fashion business. So I put more of the street business in my kind of creativity, whereby I discovered there was a lot that was lacking in the Ugandan fashion industry, and that was the uniqueness, the rare things, the avant-garde things. So I discovered these things are lacking, and most people usually used to see them from designers abroad, people doing them from movies. So I discovered and I realized in the fashion industry of Uganda, it's lacking. So I decided to specialize, especially in those elements, whereby I could do creative costumes for different artists. Well, as you know, in life, everyone has principles, everyone has terms and conditions they follow as they're doing their business, as they're moving into their day-to-day life. Well, I have a short form of my kind of principles, and I call it the success tree, whereby the success tree starts with information. Before you do any kind of business, you have to be informed. You have to learn, you have to make research. So once you're informed about a certain kind of business you want to do, or a certain kind of life you want to be in, once you're informed, then you go to the connection part. There's information and connection. Connection lead you to your target goals, and they lead you to your target bucket and targeted customers or targeted clientele. Yes, when you get the connections, then we'll go down to the communication. Communication is key. Why do I tell you communication is key? Because in every kind of aspect of life, you have to communicate, be it in business, be it in normal life, be it even in prayers. Everyone communicates to God. So communication is key. Determination comes last. You are determined to achieve your goals, to achieve your big kind of business you would want to do. Then once we're done with determination, there comes in the financial status. What financial status are you in? What kind of business can you afford at that moment? It can be starting with a capital of 100,000. Yes, that can be capital for a certain business. But once you're informed about that business, and once you're connected to the right people about that business, and once you communicate with the right people about that business, and once you're determined to do that business, trust me, you're going to make that 100K into 1 million, into billion, into 1 trillion for your life, and then you're going to succeed in your life. In my kind of business, I've managed to achieve a lot of beneficial things, whereby I've achieved a lot of beneficial friendships, beneficial business clientele, and I've managed to win awards and recognitions like the Air Brand Style and Fashion Awards 2019. Till now, I'm the one holding the flag. So I've managed to be nominated in different categories. That's Buzz Tennis Awards as stylist, tennis stylist. That's Pearl of Africa Awards. I was nominated. Air Brands, I was nominated like 4 times almost. And outside the world, I was recognized and I was invited for the New York Fashion Week. That's 2019, 2020. I was invited, but you know, as the pandemic came up, I wasn't able to achieve that. But I take it as an achievement because it was a good mileage for me. 90%, I've worked with 90% of the fashion industry people and the music industry people. That's to say the music industry is Spice Diana, Rose, Waiki Bender, There's Waiki Benda, Chameleon, Palazzo, and a lot of names I can't mention all, but there are very many. And in the influencer side, I've managed to work with Judith Hag, Anita Fabiola, and my kind of target in the next 10 years, so far I've moved 7, in the next 10 years is Mavo Kampala to be a global brand. And one of my challenges that I faced mostly is lack of enough resources for my kind of creativity, whereby you need to order resources from outside, and mostly outside countries don't ship into Uganda, as you know. So it limits my kind of creativity, my kind of ability, whereby I could think of an idea and I want to do it, but then I can't do it because I lack enough resources to polish my kind of creativity. One thing I would advise you is respect. Respect is a key. Respect everyone in their category, in their kind of life. You may never know who is going to help you, who is going to lead you to someone, who is going to connect you to someone. But once you be with that respect, you make use of your data and make a lot of research about what you want to do. Learn more, be informed on a lot of things, read a lot of books, ask a lot of questions where you don't know. And one thing I would like to advise you is don't use your ego to boast around, because ego kills a lot of businesses. So be down to earth with people. You see, everything's gonna be like magical to you, and you're gonna succeed in your careers and life.
Well, we're committed to sharing with you how you can make money, grow it, and indeed keep it. Now, there are small things that many of us can look at or overlook, like they say. Take, for instance, being a market vendor. Of course, last week we talked about a market vendor who has scaled the heights to actually sit in the digital space. This week, we want to pay special attention to how a person in that space actually makes money.
I've been able to manage this business of fresh beans and fresh peas through savings, because at times I save, like in case if I've sold a lot of money, I do get some for saving, and then I maintain some as my capital. Most commonly businesses which are being opened, it's this business. Because even someone with 10,000, you can begin this business. Now this one is 4,000, this one is 2,500. So me, I have this tendency of giving unaffordable prices to my customers. If this is 2,000, I can give my customer at 2,000. This is 2,500, I can deduct to my customer, then I give him or at 2,000. In this generation, you have to be hardworking, have to work hard. But this business of waiting for things to find us at home, it's no longer work. Have to put much effort, because this is my personal business and I'm getting a lot.
Well, the digital revolution has changed and simplified the way we live. Indeed, we are all online through different means and tools. One of them that's commonly used today is VPN. Today, we try to delve into the pros and cons of accessing the internet using VPN.
When the government passed a law of taxing, when they brought the OTT tax, over the top tax, whereby all what the government classified as making noise on the internet, things to do with you are not able to access them, those kind of social media. That was, I think, in 2020, we had that law. Many people, they got awakened because some of them couldn't afford. You cannot buy internet access or airtime, but also pay the tax. So what they did was to begin thinking about how could I access the internet without paying this tax. And that's how everybody was talking about, you can use VPN, you can use VPN, you can use VPN. So obviously what VPN does is instead of when you are making a connection to the network server, if I'm connecting to the internet through MTN network, obviously I will first be routed through the MTN network. And then anybody globally can know that I'm connecting from Uganda to the internet. However, the VPN, once you get a connection via VPN, it will route you to various servers wherever they are globally. How will a Ugandan or an average person know that this VPN is credible and genuine, and this VPN is not credible and genuine? Because what we have seen globally is people keep on reinventing the wheel and say, how do we attack and gain information which is confidential from users? So the criminals themselves sit down and craft a VPN, and once you install it on your mobile phone or on your computer, much as it will allow you to be connecting to the internet and access the sites you wouldn't choose. For example, now like Facebook, many people are still using VPN. But now many of them, they don't know, actually, is this VPN good? Is this VPN, who owns this VPN? Because you see, government, what it can do, or even other governments, is they invest in the VPN, or they invest in the people who make the VPNs, and whoever installs it on their phone, they get the information of their connection behavior from them. Because after all, how many of people who use VPN read those warnings and notices which are there? So even they show you they will collect information. How do you ever ask how they are going to use it? But also we have seen that some governments deliberately invest in having VPNs which are a part of, which are weaponized, so that people use them to access as they are collecting information from them. So it is very important, therefore, to spend some money when you are having a VPN, so that if you are using a VPN, you know it is a company, they are listed companies which are credible because they have got some certificates. So it is very important that the VPN you have on your phone, maybe you pay money to access it, and you know the companies. So this is why you begin by searching about companies that make good VPNs. Then you check on their websites. Then you know the kind of other corporate buyers who have them. So you want to see suppliers to big companies globally, and that supplier will show you their VPN, and then now you can download that VPN and pay a subscription.
With that, we've come to the end of this week's edition of Man and Market. Thank you for being part of the show. Now, from me and team, we'd like to wish you a very good evening. But we'd like to keep this conversation going. So drop us a line on the addresses on your screen, especially subscribe to our YouTube channel and be active on the other platforms. We have more of these stories and indeed discussions going on. I'd like to hear from you. Now, until next time, have a good evening. God bless and bye-bye.